Yo, welcome to the 10 Count Podcast, where we're going to give you our raw, uncut opinion about the current landscape of boxing. Right now, we have the best ref in the game, future Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? My favorite guy to watch in the ring, a good friend of mine, Mr.
The legendary
Willis. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
I already
sir.
know I'm Big Cruz. You know I'm Big
Not a
Cruz.
legend till you're dead.
Yeah. My boy African Herb, man. My boy Jules. You
Yes,
feeling this
sir.
thing, man? What's up, Willis, man? We
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
you for blessing us with your presence.
How y'all doing? What's happening, bro?
I had
How
to
you
make
doing?
this
How you
show.
doing? Good to.
show us one of those signature. Hey, show us one of those signature faces, Steve.
That only comes out in two ways, man. You either got to be fighting or we got to be doing something else, and we ain't doing that.
Hey, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because you,
Ain't
you
no-
can
ain't
tell
no
that
clown.
you're into the fights. The one ref that's into the fight for real. You feel the fight. That's what I always took them facial expressions as.
Hey, well, thank you, but
Man, you know I had to do some research on you, Willis, man. You
no.
you know, what I looked up, man. You know 232 bouts you've ref so far, man. You've been active since 2003, man. That's crazy experience, man. So my first question to you, my man, is how did you get started with reffing boxing? How did you get started? What made you say, man, I want to do this? I always want
I've always been into officiating. I started in baseball.
Yes.
I started in baseball. I got into officiating because I never, they always gave me 00, no stats, no playing time. So I found out you could make a little money officiating, and I would do that because I wasn't in the game. So I figured I'd go. And there was a couple of years I boxed. I went into PAL. I went into the New York Golden Gloves, junior, whatever.
Oh, so you was open class?
No.
I was
You were open class?
No.
You didn't go open class?
No, they used to have what they used to call sub novice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they still got
And
some
that was
knowledge.
for like if you had less than 10 fights.
Okay.
And they put you would have that, then you would have the next tier once you had 10 bouts or more. But I wasn't, but I found out I like officiating. And I would do a lot. I did a lot of baseball, so I wound up doing it professionally. And then one day during the off season, I went with a friend to Madison Square Garden, and I went to a hockey game nonetheless.
Wow.
And then we snuck downstairs. They had the theater, and they had the Golden Gloves going on. And I was sitting there, and I'm going, "Wow, there's something I haven't tried." And then I tried to get involved, but I didn't make the connection. And then years later, I found my way into it. And once I found my way into it, I worked a bunch of years in the amateurs, and then I was approached about being a pro. And once I was done with baseball, I kind of just focused heavily on boxing. Boxing just kind of showed up.
Oh, okay.
In terms of officiating, I never thought about that I'd be a boxing referee. I thought it'd be a cool thing to do, but the action, because boxing is like a closed society.
It sure is. The underworld.
It's a closed society. And it took me a long time to finally just make a contact. And what I just did was I wanted to do it. So I just kept showing up at the gym that the guy who trained people, I just kept showing up.
Okay.
And the guy was a world official, and he was out of town a lot. And his father ran the gym, and they were like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Well, I understand you train referees here." Oh, and I just kept coming back.
So how does that process work? You just mean training referees? How does that process work for anybody that's aspiring to become, a ref? How does that process work?
Well, if you're not obsessive compulsive like me, where you're just going to show up and just to the point where somebody's just going to like, all right, put this guy, this what he's here. Most people don't get up and say they want to be a referee. It's something how in what I found out when I got heavily involved in the amateurs is I'll recruit a guy. It's the same thing like any industry. You see a guy like this guy's hanging around. You see, you want to ref, you want to judge. You start out judging.
Okay.
And you start out learning the basics, working at the glove table, timekeeping, judging.
There we go. Okay.
And then once,
Go ahead, finish.
And once, at least the way, because once I got into like being chief of officials and got into that process, I applied a criteria. My partner and I, Eddie Claudio, we applied a criteria for like how you wanted to, what it took for you to be a referee. So you had to put in a lot of time as a judge, and then what it meant was like showing up, because you have boxing shows every weekend somewhere, and it's the same team, it's the same people, and the people who are into it show up.
True.
You get a guy, he'll say today, "Oh, I want to be a referee," and you won't see him. You see him one time, and you won't see him again. You got to show you got to show that you're interested in doing that.
Wow.
And because the first time somebody calls you a son of a bitch, or call you a child molester because you rendered the decision that their kids didn't like, and they start calling you names, and now you're the biggest son of a bitch walking, and you've never been spoken to like that.
You don't want to be on it. You don't want to do it no more.
You want to be an official,
Or you want to be a boxer, then you want to fight.
And boxing's different. Like you have soccer and all that stuff where parents get crazy. I've been in some wild situations in gyms. So.
Hey, but you got hands though, so it don't matter though. You got hands.
Yeah,
you know
what you're doing.
But when the ratchets start getting pulled out.
Question. So
when people start going for their bag, man,
it
hits a whole, and what happens is you see people like they get that experience, they don't come back.
Yeah,
that's true.
So what's the highest rank you can reach as a ref? Like, is there? I'm sure there's levels to it. Like, how do you become a Steve Willis, Jay Nady, Kenny Bayless?
I pay them dues, man.
You know what I'm saying? How do you become those?
Well, like I would tell anybody who says they want to be a referee, first you got to see if you can do it, and you do that in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Just to answer your question previously, you got to spend at least 5-6 years in the amateurs.
Okay, just like the fighters.
Just like a fighter.
Exactly.
Any sport.
Because like NFL refs, they start at high school.
NFL, like, okay, football, you start in Pop Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody starts in Pop Warner. And if you can make it to the senior division, then maybe you can do high school. If you can do junior college, you're a big deal. If you can make it to Division I, you're a good official. So when the NFL calls, you've been officiating about 20 years.
True that.
So you would consider yourself a career ref?
Can't by definition, because if I was making a living by it, then I can do that. Yeah, but
Oh, okay. So you don't. Okay, I got you.
No, man, I got a job like everybody else.
Okay.
Also, my man be doing that stand-up shit funny as hell though. Y'all seen this?
You're a stand-up comedian.
Haven't done it in a long time. When boxing took off, I put that to the side.
Hey, but y'all need. Hey, if y'all ever get a chance, go check my man out, man. That shit is hilarious, man. Also, you
can't talk like that no more. Can't talk like that no more.
You still do your podcast, also your talks that you know the Willis.
Yeah, not consistently because I believe in the referee edict, which is you really shouldn't be heard that much.
Gotcha. You're right. Yeah.
And I'm a little too opinionated and a little. I say some wild stuff, so.
Hey, I'm
trying to get in no trouble.
You watch the show,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You follow me, I'm off the wall too, so I definitely get you. So I want to jump into this. I want to tell you this. You're one of the main reasons that we came up with this show, and we came with the title. The title of the 10 count. You remember how we came up with this title of this fight?
Okay, yeah.
It was the Wilder versus Fury fight, right?
Yeah.
And we had this big blow up about the count. So please, I always wanted to get you on the show to explain to this man right here, what is a 10 count? What is the 10 count? Is it 10 seconds or is it a count? Please explain that.
This was when
loaded. Hey, that's a loaded question, by the way. Anyway,
that's not a loaded question.
But let's see. Here's my whole problem with the whole argument. When people are supposed to be experienced in the sport of boxing, and what that situation did for me, it exposed that you got a lot of people who are. It just leads to question. What have you guys been watching all these years since you've been watching boxing? What have you been watching?
What are you? Okay.
Because there were people who said they never seen a guy picking up the count. You've been ringside. You've been to boxing shows, right? Yes. You never seen the guy jump up at the microphone counting 1, 2, and never ask yourself, who was that?
So
timekeeper.
So yes. For the record, we're talking about the Wilder.
I'm not talking about that fight.
We're talking about the count. Right. We're talking about the count, period.
Okay. We're talking about the count because look, when Mike Tyson knocked down Buster Douglas, the timekeeper jumped up and he was at a certain time, and then the referee started at a whole nother time.
Well, that's
controversial.
Well, it's controversial in the sense of if they weren't in sync. One was doing one thing, one was doing the other. That's a problem. And what it is when the protest comes in, it's something to nickel and dime. It still don't negate the fact that Mike was standing there trying to pick up his mouthpiece.
Right. That's why they dropped.
He was not going to be able to continue that fight.
I don't do my boy like that, man.
No.
I'm a huge Mike fan. I've never watched that fight.
I understand.
Oh yeah, my man, Mike.
But
I'm talking about the knockdown where he dropped Buster Douglas. In the
then again, what happens is I'll let you a little insight.
Okay.
In different countries. When you referee,
and that was Japan.
Yeah, people do different things. In other words, in America, most states, guy's going to pick up the count, and it's going to be in sync with you. You're going to have a conversation. Okay, and little story. I was in Germany, and in Germany, every old school referee tells you, "Oh, you're going to Germany? Yeah." Make sure the timekeeper has the count when you get a knockdown. Okay, cool.
And how do you start the count?
Once the guy boxer goes down, boom. Timekeeper or the knockdown referee is going to go 1. I'm going to send him to the neutral corner. I'm going to pick up the count. Now,
so do you pick up the count after you didn't send him, or are you keeping it in sync with the second?
No,
you stop.
When he goes down, okay, I usher the other fighter to the neutral right corner. Okay, stay there.
Go.
Now, I do that a little more deliberate because I don't want nobody saying, oh. So I make a big point to go over there, push him over there. You're also looking at the fighter who's down.
Okay.
Picking up the severity of the knockdown. Now you don't. Now you look over at the knockdown referee or the timekeeper or his assistant, and they're generally at 3, 4 by the time you send the guy to the neutral corner.
So the count keeps going.
Count keeps going, and then I take over the count.
Thank you.
Hold on. Because I see where you're going. I take over the count. Mm-hmm. But if I turn around and I see you moved out of the corner, I'll stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will, and just to make sure we don't have no misunderstanding, I've told you this in the dressing room.
Okay.
In the pre-fight instructions.
Okay.
I even post things on my Instagram where you see in different various forms where referees instruct them. If you come out in the corner, I'm gonna stop the count.
That might have cost Wilder a knockout.
I keep telling you that. I told you that.
But see, this discussion came about because of the Fury and Wilder fight when Deontay knocked him down in like the 12th round or the 11th round?
11.
I think it was 12th round. Dropped him, and he was out, and the ref started the count after like 4 seconds.
Because he has to put him in a neutral corner. Wilder was blowing kisses to the crowd.
But see, he said he starts the count when the man hit the mat. When he hit the canvas, he starts the count. So that means that the count has to keep going. He said the count kept going. And there's counting, the counting is in seconds. Right? Isn't it based on seconds?
No,
You're not going,
no. It's not seconds.
What he said? Hold on.
It's not seconds.
He said what?
It's not seconds.
Hold on. What he said?
Well.
You said it's not what?
I can end the debate right here. Okay. It says in the unified rules, a deliberate, recommended, deliberate slow count. Somewhere I forget the verbiage, but it basically is telling you don't rush it. Okay. And let me just see. I don't want to get in trouble.
That makes sense. That's for safety.
Yeah.
It's kind of safety based. Yeah.
And what when you hear people saying, well, a lot of people when you hear them nickel and dime this count, pretty much you know what they wanted. They wanted 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're the winner.
That's true.
What they wanted.
Because that's exactly what I want.
Just stop it.
Hey, we got a question for you, Willis. We got a question for you right there. Can you see it? Extreme car reviews. Look at the
read it for him. He says, why you make faces? He wants to know why he makes faces like that when fighters fight.
If I knew why I wouldn't
do
it, right?
Steve?
That's just you're engaged, right?
Huh?
You just engaged.
Let him talk.
If I knew how to deal with it, I wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah,
it is what it is. I can't help it. I just wish I had more teeth, man.
Hey, boxing is that kind of sport, man.
I got a question. What's your favorite boxing quote?
Quote.
You don't have any?
No.
Ain't nothing square about the boxing game but the ring,
well, okay, if it's just one that I've coined for myself. Your friends can't help you in the 9th round.
That is a good one right there. I like that. I'm about to take that to the gym, man. Hey, your friends can't take it. Your friends can't help you in the 9th round. I like that one.
And that applies to everybody.
I got a question.
That's real life right there. Yeah.
Here go another question for you, Willis.
I gotta put my glasses on. Damn.
It says, "What's the hardest fight you had to ref?"
Probably some club show somewhere.
Because they all over the place.
Yeah. Probably some club show somewhere. It ain't the bigger fights.
Gotcha. It's skillful, Yeah.
It ain't the bigger fights. It's the fights where dude is like 11 and 39.
Oh yeah.
So why don't I got a question for you. We speaking, we're talking about the 10 counts. Why don't you really see a lot of standing 8 counts in many world championship fights?
Okay, so I can finally found them someplace I can and there's a reason why there's no stand. Let me ask you this. You would put yourself as a fighter and you're the underdog. And you get in there, let's just say Terrence Crawford for a name. Okay. And you managed to hurt him. You managed to hurt him.
Okay.
You back him up in the corner. He's ready to go.
Okay.
The money is walking out the door. You hear the terror in the audience.
Wow. Yeah.
Bob Arum's having a heart attack. People are getting upset. He goes down twice. This fight is about to be like Mike Tyson. Okay. And out of nowhere, the referee decides to give a standing 8 count and let him get back into the fight. And you fuck around and get knocked out.
Okay.
Was that fair?
No, not really. No, it's not fair.
What you think?
In a professional prize fight,
only occur
in a professional prize fight. This is the world championship.
Right.
You have your opportunity to knock him out. You train to knock this man out. And now we're going to give him standing 8 counts and let him get back into the fight? Is that fair?
I can't even answer it. I gotta let that one soak.
Is it fair? Think about it. You think about every big fight. If they call a standing 8 count for Tommy Hearns while Marvin Hagler was whooping his ass, would that have been fair?
That's true.
At what point,
if they called a standing 8 count for Larry Holmes when Mike Tyson was going through him, would that have been fair?
Because it's pretty much like you saving the fighter.
Okay, so everyone has figured out, going back into the 80s, that you're giving an unfair advantage to one of the fighters.
I can see that. All day. Yeah.
Okay, and so it comes down to either the fight is over, or you got to figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely support standing 8s in the amateurs, though.
No, the amateur, that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Okay, you're dealing with young athletes, so that's where it belongs in the Olympic level. Yeah, that's where it belongs.
So we got another question for you. He said,
"Hold on, I got one of mine first. What's your best advice for beginners? While we talking about beginners,
pay your dues, man. Pay your dues. Pay your dues, man.
You talking about like just start small, start with the fundamentals.
Start small. Start at the beginning.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Start at the beginning. If you're a boxer, right down to doing push-ups and sit-ups and learning how to hit the bag, all the way up.
Okay.
To you know what I mean? If you're an official, you gotta work the amateurs, man, because one, it's really not fair to come into the sport on the professional level and have no experience.
Yeah,
great.
Because what's going to happen is you're gonna get eaten up.
Absolutely. Great.
So we got a question right here. Do you get nervous calling big fights?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
All right, we got another one.
I've tested myself. I don't know why.
So how did you test yourself?
When you stand in the ring, how do you feel?
Yeah.
I mean, and what really the great thing about boxing is you don't have time to worry about it. You really don't have time. You don't have time
to get to it.
It's time to work. If you don't know what you're doing by now, it's too late. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late, man. You and if you don't know what you're doing, you better act like it.
Question. Yeah. Let's get to this question right here.
How we doing,
have
guys?
you ever, like we said, we asked earlier about, actually, this goes to your question, Ron, about the counting. Have you ever scored a fight in your head?
Yeah, scoring the fight live. Yeah, live. As you reffing the fight.
As you reffing a fight.
I've tried it and I can't do it.
Why is that?
I got too many other things to look at.
Worry about, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
I got too many things to focus on, and you'll have. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening. Sorry.
There's too much to focus on. Because I'm looking at it, everything from your body language to your technique to your spirit to your. I'm looking at everything, and I don't have time. I don't have time to turn on the judging mechanics.
Gotcha.
Because there's mechanics to that.
That leads to one of my questions I had.
So let me follow up this. Let me follow up this question real quick that he had. So speaking with the, have you ever reffed a fight where a fighter was? Did you feel like he was when you heard the decision at the end? You was like, man, that kid got robbed. Have you ever experienced that?
No, because like I said, I'm divorced from those type of feelings.
Got you.
That's what's up. I'm just working the fight.
That's what's up.
And so at the end of the fight, I don't know where we are. All I know is we went the distance, and I might ask somebody. I said, which way to go? See,
look, you in the fight just like the fighters. The same way you ref. You reffing it like
I have my delusions too. Just like a guy might think he won the fight. I have my delusions. Cool. You might say, "Great job." I'm thinking, really? Or.
So we got one last question, and then let's get to one of these. Let's get these questions in the comments.
The viewers.
Yeah. Okay. So if there's a big cut on a fighter, who stops the fight, and what's considered too much blood in the fight? This is coming from a guy that
That's a good question.
Yeah. So
blood is not. I don't worry about blood. It's severity of cuts. Mm-hmm. Right. And what I'll do is, depending on where I am, I'll take the doctor's advice. And I'll work in New York. I'll work with a doctor. Because I know the doctors.
Gotcha.
So I trust their expertise, and there's and it depends on the placement of the cut.
What part will you be like, okay, like usually right above the eye, because under the eye they pretty good, but above the eye.
No, I worry about above the eye.
Gotcha.
Right.
I worry about above the eye. Yeah. Or if we have a headbutt contusion that's could be other things going on and underneath that causes the
hematoma, like Hasim Rahman got with Holyfield.
Yeah, see something like that. You're watching it grow, and it's just simply like we need ice. We don't need to be punching anymore. We need ice.
Yeah.
Human growing on him.
Yeah. So, what was the question you had, Aubrey?
So, my question was, do you think they should bring back? You kind of answered it, but my question is like, do you think they should bring back the scoring referee in American boxing? Mm-hmm. You think that's a major mistake? They actually have the scoring ref in the UK. In the British boxing.
I thought people were BSing when they were saying that, and then I saw a friend of mine just working the fight. I was just like, wow, commission's really being cheap, huh?
They don't want
to pay nobody, huh? Wow.
So you feel like
Mr. Smith, I was joking. Mr. Robert Smith, I was joking. I'm just joking.
So you really feel like that's like the ref is too busy using their faculties to pay attention to other stuff?
That wouldn't be fair.
But you right in the mix though. You see the little.
It's not fair. That just goes to show how hard judging is.
but it's not fair to put that pressure
judge?
on me, and for me to have to be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and to be wrong. So for it to be more equitable, you feel like it should be the.
Yeah, I mean that's why they added an extra judge. That's why they took it away from the referee and added another judge.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about open? So how do you feel about open scorecard? So do you feel like do you think that would be more effective?
I don't think it's entertaining. I don't think it's entertaining.
Okay.
I don't think it's entertaining.
It takes the suspense.
You know, you listen to the cornball fan who sits there. Well, I want to know what the running score is. Well, you're going to complain about that too.
Right.
It's just to appease people. I mean, the whole thing is to have the suspense.
Yeah.
The drama. The drama and the suspense.
Like a close fight. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time, people are not really scoring the fight honestly anyway, because you're busy talking, you're drinking your beer, you're drinking your soda, you're eating whatever you're eating. And you know, if you're not actually sitting down, like, okay, people who I know who judge professionally, I don't care where they are, if they're watching it, there's a different kind of focus. Like, you can't talk to them at that moment. And a lot of people watch boxing and it's so subjective.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to be locked in if you're going to judge.
So how do you feel about somebody I read something, they made a suggestion that they wanted to take the judges away from the ringside and have them like behind the scenes scoring the fight, like with the sound off, scoring the fight like that. Because they say a lot of judges get swayed by the crowd.
Right.
So how you feel about that?
People who come up with that idea are people who don't officiate.
Because it's an experience for you guys too.
You got to be.
Well, let's put it this way. When you say the judges get swayed by the crowd, part of being a professional judge is not being swayed by the crowd.
It's part of the profession.
It's part of the gig. Being able to work around the photographers, all that. See, when people talk about judging and this, they don't factor all the things that go into it. They just know from their limited knowledge of the other thing. But in order, like, I forget where, but one commission, they were given those airport earphones.
Noise canceling headphones.
Yeah. And, you know, some judges liked it, I think. And, you know, but a good professional judge, he's focused like me.
He want to have a full experience, right?
You got you know, yeah.
We got another question.
Yeah.
He said, do you ever go back and watch your fights of yourself?
All the time.
Okay.
It's like music. It's like music. You gotta study, and it's not an ego thing.
You just gotta see just like football. You got
yeah. No, you know, you sit there, you go.
I got a question because I watch you a lot. I watch you, like I said, every time I see you on, because like I said, I don't know all the fights that you're reffing. You know, when I see you on, I'm tuned in because you're my guy. You feel what I'm saying? So, at what point do you like? Okay, let me break the clink when you let them work because I feel like some guys they take away a fighter's strength because some guys are good in the inside. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of tactic do you take far as letting the guy work between or breaking them up in the clinch? What decides when you do that?
See, I like infighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too.
And to me, that's where the fight is.
That's true.
That's where we establish the dominance. That's where we establish who's running the show, who's the man, or who's the lady. And once I see, and like to me, the most important rounds are the first round.
Okay.
Because you're telling me what you want to do. You're telling me you're telling me how y'all gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, in the gym, guys wrestle all day. right? You train. When you train, you're training to wrestle with the guy, the muscle with the guy, and you get in the fight. And I figured out early on that if you let them fight their way out of the clinch, you'll actually produce a better fight. Because what it comes down to, if you've been a fighter, you had that thing. We said you kind of look over the shoulder and you say, look at the ref like, oh, you're not gonna break me? Bet. And he hit him with the hook, or he hit him with the, and you wait to see who's gonna be the first one to initiate infighting. And then once we establish that, it's like it makes for a better fight because you're letting them, and you find out guys want to do that.
So they want
to work out of the clinch.
So you don't tell them to break clean. You don't holler clean break. That's not you.
Well, what do you mean by clean break?
You tell them break clean, fellas. You know.
Well, yeah, you have moments where you got to break them. Well, okay. Well, if that's what you're asking, once we see there's a point where the action stops.
Stop. Gotcha.
Right.
And there's just this understanding that we need to stick to we're ready to be broken. But there's moments where you get guys inside and you see them, they're trying to establish some kind of position.
Yeah. So tell me something. Was the Bud Crawford versus Porter stoppage premature? Now we spoke of the 8 count. You saying you want to take that out.
You can't say it was premature because his dad threw in the towel.
Exactly. His dad threw in the towel.
His dad threw in the towel, so it was it. That's it.
Well,
I'll just say this: they saw something coming. There was a storm coming.
It was a storm coming. The storm that came.
It was a storm coming, man.
You know it was coming. You know Bud was heated up. Boy,
it was a storm coming. And Kenny made an executive decision.
I think he shouldn't have stopped it though. But hey, that's neither here. That goes to a fight that I saw when I brought up the infight because I love one of my favorite fights that you ref was the Thurman versus Porter fight. Action. That was a great fight that you ref.
Now there's an example of where you say let them fight.
You let them fight. You broke them when they stopped. They stopped working. You broke them. You didn't. Yeah. It wasn't. What I like about you.
That made the whole difference in that fight too. That made it a fight.
If it's going to be rugged, it's going to be rugged.
Yeah,
bro. Because you would have been busy tugging all night if you would have been trying to break
how you going to judge?
Porter off.
How am I going to judge that?
But listen, is that an East Coast thing?
That's why they was able to get the fight of the year. What is going on?
Is that an East Coast thing?
You asked me. That's a very.
Steve Smoker, he'll let you fight. Off the mechanic.
It's not an East Coast thing. It's not an East Coast thing. I think refereeing is like baseball umpire strike zones. Everybody's has their thing.
Okay.
There is no one way to referee.
Like with the low blows with Andre Ward, a referee, because they got Steve Smoker to come to the West Coast to California where he fought Chad Dawson. And California don't usually let other referees come into California. But they knew not to say that they did that, but they knew Steve Smoker would let you fight.
Ward versus Chad Dawson.
Okay.
And that was when Ward didn't come out of Oakland.
So what happened? You were talking about low blows.
Well, it wasn't. The low blows wasn't prevalent. I wouldn't even say there were any low blows. But I'm talking about when you talk about the strike zone. Remember, when he fought Kovalev, there was controversy of low blows and stuff like that. And that could be the same.
A lot of those controversies are manufactured, bro. Yeah. A lot of those. If you look at in the last 20 years, what it is with social media, every fight, I kind of learned how to spot the trolls who do this. They take something from a fight and it's thrown out there, and there's so many people who don't know anything,
right,
that they grab onto this stuff.
Right.
And though you guys know boxing, okay, you know when a dude's getting hit low, and you know when a dude's getting hit in the body.
Right.
And also, you got to, and a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these guys be having the trunks high.
Remember Zab Judah act like Amir Khan just hit him low, and he.
We bet. A lot of these guys be having their trunks high, and it's on the belt line. You feel what I'm saying? And they're thinking it's low blow.
Well, put yourself in the boxing mindset now. Also, you know how you compact yourself.
Yeah.
And you bend forward. Now, when the dude is chopping you in your body, what do? You compress, and you back, and you bend a little forward, right? So, when the guy's really ripping you, you're bending foot. Now, that might give the optic, depending on how much you fold over and how much you're giving up. Yeah. Like you getting hit low. I had a guy, he'll remain nameless. He got in, he did it to me twice. That's how I learned. Because they'll have you in there calling choosing a guy hitting low when it actually is not the case.
Gotcha. Right.
That's why I take certain positions. Once I see that there you got that body attack in there, I really want, because when I see that you're going to compress and fold up and the belt line narrows on me, I got to, because for me, like I said, it's got to be going. If you've ever been hitting the cup, you know where that line is, and to me, like the hit, it's a fine line. Yeah,
that's an interesting nugget, man. That you've actually given me to pay attention to when I'm watching fights now, to see who establishes the dominance on the inside. Now I look at that
in the first round
already, but yeah, with it being the first round and seeing how it sets the tone of the fight, because it does. But sometimes a guy can choose to get on the outside and set up his, and dominate with his jab. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I've seen Oscar do that. Oscar.
Well, we're going to see that in, like I said, the first 30 seconds. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
So
position, yeah.
We got a question from the Underground Sound. He asked which one of your referee peers you admire and that's a really great ref. Like, what's the guy that you gotta look up to in the ref as far as a ref?
Either past or present.
Who?
Well, Tony Weeks and I are buddies, and we chop it up, and I watch everybody. Eddie Cotton was a mentor of mine.
Okay.
McCanty Senior was helped me along the way. Benji Esteves. Yeah. In his weird way, Smoker.
Even Smoker.
Yeah, in his weird way.
Hey man, I hated Smoker when he let Lebedev knock Roy Jones out, man. He let me down on that one, man.
He failed. Yeah.
He failed terribly with that. I don't think he should have reffed again.
No comment.
He was anticipating, because Roy was faking. Roy had faked him out like he was hurt at first.
Better him than me, because I don't know if I would have gotten that far with Roy.
What you mean?
I dread the day when I get one of those fights.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be in trouble, because I would never put myself through the Holmes Muhammad Ali thing or the Roy Jones thing. I just wouldn't put myself there. I'm just like, come on, man. I can't.
Yeah, I love.
They flew him out to Russia to do that too, man.
You can't tell Roy Jones nothing, man.
I understand.
It's hard headed. So we got a question. It says, when did you find your love for boxing, and why do you love the sport?
Oh, that goes back to when I was a kid. I've always watched boxing. It was just out of all the sports I tried, boxing was the most closed. You just did. If you didn't know anybody, you just didn't know how to get in.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know anything.
Hey, that's a perfect segue to your top 5 too.
Oh yeah. So we
who's
got
your
to come out.
favorite?
We ask every guest on here that comes on and chop it up with us. Who are you? Who's your top 5 favorite fighters ever?
Guys, you probably never heard of.
Hey,
that's what we want to know. That's
your list. It's your list. Top 5.
Being at Marvin and Duran at the top.
Okay.
Matthew Saad Muhammad. Love that guy.
Ooh. Okay.
Jeff Chandler.
The light heavy.
Yeah. Jeff Chandler.
One more.
Huh?
One more.
We doing only 5?
Oh, you can do 10. Give me 10 then. Hey, give me 10. If you're gonna do it big then, baby.
Mike McCullum.
Okay.
Oh, the body snatcher. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I had a new appreciation for Eusebio Pedrosa. I put him a little higher.
Okay.
Eusebio Pedrosa, nasty son of a bitch. Nasty son of a. Today's boxing, people too soft for him today. Nasty dude. No, what I call when you talk about defend the title, this dude was like about defending the title. You know, he gonna hit you. He gonna defend the title. He gonna hit you. He gonna defend the title.
Yes,
and you know, and he was from Panama, and he would do stuff like have a fight in Atlantic City, fly in 2 days before. And he had this whole attitude like, I come for my money, man. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this. And he go in there and he just fight and get his money and get at it. And he was just coming in and try to take your spirit. He was just a mean, nasty dude. He was only 120-something pounds, but he had that look. He looked like he was cast out of Scarface. I would take him with me if I had a problem.
That's what's up.
I would take that. Just don't stand in the corner. Ain't gonna be no problems. Eusebio Pedrosa, dude was bad dude. Yeah, check him out. Check it out.
So who's your? Oh no, you still going to 10 or?
No.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
You good with 6? You stopped at 6.
Okay. Question: who's your favorite commentator?
None of them.
None of them. You hate all of them. No.
I don't hate. I just don't. I don't. No, I like Steve Farhood and I like Al Bernstein and Barry Tompkins.
There you go.
Because they just called the fight.
Yeah.
It's
my favorite is Big George. You know. They need to bring Big George back, man. Roy Jones is throwing hot leather tonight. It's something how he spits those legs. I love.
Yeah, George. But the best part is George is not. That's not George when you're standing next to him. George ain't nice. George ain't nice. Like, well, maybe not. What I mean is
George ain't nice. George mean.
George is George, man. George ain't got nothing to say.
Hey, I remember that Galata.
George ain't got nothing to say to nobody.
Hey,
I can make anybody laugh. I worked all night on George.
Wow.
George just give you. George is.
He said, "Okay, Steve Albert. That's a good one." Okay, he likes Steve Albert.
But most of them just try too hard and they don't know what they're talking about.
So I got 2 more questions for you, man, and then you know what I'm saying. If you got,
are you guys on a time schedule?
No, I ain't on no time schedule. I just got, I ain't on the time schedule, but I value your time. You feel me?
It's cool. We're cool.
If you want to answer, you don't have. If you don't want to answer, you don't have.
I didn't finish. I wanted to finish my point about when you're talking about picking up the knockdown.
Go ahead.
And I was telling you about over in Germany, and you have different places.
To the
yeah.
10 count.
You all right?
I don't know. I'm trying.
He's right with that 10 count.
You were drunk, bro. What?
Yo, man, you dropped some acid or something, man? You tripping?
Oh Lord.
You all right?
Oh Lord.
Hey, what was in that glass? I thought it was water.
That was that fire moonshine, man. You drinking that moonshine?
You drinking moonshine, man? He drinking that Everclear. That's Everclear.
Hey, that was the moonshine glass he had, man.
Didn't
count. I was like,
he was watching that new Matrix, man.
I don't know what is he doing.
Hey, you messing up the quality of the show.
Big pretty colors. What the? No, but what I was saying was like in different countries you have different. Huh?
Why is it mine's?
Oh, you got a screen.
Go ahead.
Okay, you got a screen.
Go ahead, Steve.
It's not the glass, right? Okay.
Go ahead, Willis.
So no, but what I was saying was like in different countries, you have different ways of doing things, including doctors and stuff like that. And like I said, in the States, we have the knockdown referees all the time. And like I said, I went to Germany and someone told me like, hey man, when you're in Germany, make sure the guy picks up the count.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm doing a fight in Germany, and actually my first time in Germany doing a fight. And I said, okay, yeah, let me go talk to this guy. And I said, and guy speaks English, fine. And I'm like, listen, you're going to pick up the count. He says, yeah, I'm going to pick up the count. Yeah, okay, right. So you get in there, and round 5, round 6, bang, bang, boom, knockdown. Put him in the corner, turn, look in the corner. Yeah, exactly. You stand there, no count. The guy's just sitting there looking at you.
Wow.
Worst feeling in the world.
Wow.
But you revert back to your amateur days. Because your amateur days, you're trained to start where you got to start.
Yeah.
So when I stand there, I'm looking at him going, oh, man, this is what they told me about.
His voice is slowed down.
So I just went from 4, picked it up from 4, and picked up the count. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Some referees go, hey, man, you're supposed to pick up the count. I didn't make a big recognize where it was. So when you talk about the Mike Tyson situation, that's a situation where people are coming from different, you're dealing with a Japanese knockdown referee.
Yeah.
A Mexican referee. I mean, and it could be a language thing, it could be a cultural thing, it could be a bunch of things that went on that you don't link up.
Got you.
And
I'm glad you said that. That brings a lot of clarity to that situation.
Because when you go abroad, you're meeting these people for the first time, unless you've worked there before. And you have to establish, even in the United States, I can come to Atlanta, do a fight, and go talk to the time and say, listen, you're picking up the count? Yeah. Now, good timekeeper approaches me. Says, listen, we're working together. Listen, how do you want to do this?
Okay.
In Japan, they're very good about that. The guy's going to tell you, this is your sound for your 10 seconds. This is going to be me doing this. This is my whistle. This is everything I'm doing. So there's no misunderstanding. Because after that Tyson thing, changes had to be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now with social media and everything, cameras being everything, you that's why if you see, I'll make a deliberate point of looking at the knockdown person and picking up the count. There won't be no misunderstanding that I didn't look over it. See, you get into trouble when you don't look over there.
You mind me asking you about a particular fight? It was when Floyd knocked out Victor Ortiz, and the referee was Joe Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he headbutted Floyd?
Mm-hmm.
Ortiz had headbutted Floyd, just a blatant headbutt.
Automatic too.
Joe Cortez said, "Fight on," but it was so much controversy after Floyd knocked him out.
Well, it was the way it went down. In theory, Joe did everything like automatic 2-point deduction.
Y'all speaking in slow motion, man.
What happened now?
Y'all got like the demon voices.
It's time for you to go see that psychiatrist, man.
Y'all hear me.
It's time for you to go see that psychiatrist, man.
What the hell was in that cup,
y'all
yeah,
man.
Man.
Like demons and shit.
Man, you all that? That's that acid, man.
It's crazy.
So did you have an issue with Floyd? Did you have an issue with
no?
Floyd? Okay.
I stopped having issues. The last fight that I had an issue with was Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler.
Why?
Because once you're on the professional side, I go back and I watch these fights now with professional eyes, and I see them completely different. You know what I mean? So now I don't get that. I'm not that invested. And
growing up when I was a kid, I thought that Hagler had got robbed very bad. But then when I watched that
I did too, man.
When I watched it as an adult, Sugar Ray Leonard did his thing, man, and it was beautiful. But as a child, I was mad. I was mad. No,
they did him wrong. They did him wrong.
Yeah.
And then you watch it close, and you're going, man.
Sugar Ray.
So how do you feel about the Magic Taylor and Chavez fight decision?
That's a good
question. For me, history shows that Richard made the right decision.
And history back it up. You're right.
You hear people, there's time left on it. Well, you're not refereeing. You're not looking at it. And there's a point in every fight, depending on how the severity of the beating, that you gotta look at a guy and go, jeez.
Yeah,
this is enough, man. This is enough. How much time you got? I gotta stop. I gotta stop this. There's a point where you just gotta go. No more.
Do that.
No more.
And are you even aware of the time? I know y'all hear the 10-second, the tick. But you think the referee was even aware of the time, Richard Steele?
I'm sure at the moment, every referee is different. I would think that once you hit, you're under 10 seconds, you're praying for the bell.
Mm-hmm.
You're praying, come on, bell, ring that damn bell. But in the case of Chavez Taylor, it's a moment where you zero in on the fighter. Right. And you're going, if this bell don't ring, this fight is over.
Over, yeah. He getting killed right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Who's to say Richard still knew he was up like that? That Taylor was up like that, Because based on what you're saying, you ain't got time to judge the fight like that.
Yeah, no. This is what I'm saying about judging. Your mind, that's not where your mind is. Yeah. That's not your job.
So he was just in the safety of the fighter, just trying to.
And like he said to me, I'm calculating the rounds that I saw leading to this. It's like you see Canelo do it, you see some other guys do it. The first 4 or 5 rounds or 7 rounds look slow, but you look at those 1 or 2 punches that they're throwing.
Yeah.
And you're looking at what those punches are doing. And Chavez did Tom Brady in that fight.
He was in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Are y'all talking about the Mildred Taylor fight?
Yeah. And he did that 2-minute thing with that Tom Brady does.
Yeah.
He coming.
He ran the Super Bowl. He score.
He fixing the score. Right. And he scored because the knockdown is the touchdown.
Gotcha.
And he stayed on his ass until he knocked him down. And that's one of those, you just go, damn. He beat you up getting here, man.
Yeah.
Everything you looking at, you saying, remember the punches that in the 9th round, the 10th round, the 12th round, you're going, man, no more. No more.
Hey, with that being said, man, we had an argument about the 10, whether the round should go up to back to 15 rounds, or should they stay where they at? As far as championship fight.
I would love to do 15 rounds just to check it out. But it's not. You're really rolling dice depending on what kind of fight it is.
So why do you say it's rolling the dice? You don't think the fighters can handle it now?
Well, what happens is where you get catastrophic situations over accumulation of rounds. That's where you get these bad injuries, brain injuries. Yeah. It's over accumulation of rounds.
Overheating the brain, yeah.
And you get some fights, man, where you push a dude and you force a guy to beat a dude's brains in because he won't quit. Like, let's put it this way:
12 rounds is grueling.
Wilder Fury, 15 rounds.
Yeah, he probably would have made it out there alive.
But I'm just saying,
that's what we came up.
That's on the table. But I'm saying that's on the table.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's brutality, man. Yeah. That's some brutal. And you can think of other fights if you've made it 15 rounds.
Look at I think
leave that moonshine on.
Did Evander Holyfield fight the last 15 round fight? If I'm not mistaken.
Which one?
Then Evander Holyfield and what's my man Muhammad
Abdul Qawi?
Yeah, Qawi. Didn't they fight the last
Dwight Braxton?
Yeah,
Dwight Braxton. May have been. I thought Hagler Duran was too.
Yeah, because I know that was the last crucial. That was that cruiserweight when they fought that one. That was that light heavyweight.
Great fight.
But he was like, man, that 15 rounds took something out of him.
See, 15. No, but see, now you got a different. You talk about. I was saying about Eusebio Pedroza. He was a 15 round fighter. Barry McWigan and those guys. What happens
the Irishman.
Yeah. Different kind of fight. Now you see those fights start out slow. It's like jazz music. Starts out very slow. And it burns. So it builds a crescendo. And 15 rounds, you got stages. You see the adjustments. Like the first 5 rounds might go a certain way. Then the next 5 rounds might go a certain way. And depending on how those middle rounds go, another guy, very boring to watch, but a technical wizard. Sal Mambi, another 15 round fighter. Sal Mambi. I know you guys never heard of him. He was one of Larry Holmes'
What's his name?
Sal Mambi.
Sparring partner.
Sal. I got my teeth in, so I can't talk. Sal Mambi. Saul Mambi. Welterweight fighter. This guy. I'll send you. I'll send you a clip there. Excellent technician.
Yeah, you never made clips.
Guy could go 15 rounds. You never see him breathe heavy.
Wow.
But they fight in these stages. They had these stages that they go in. You know what I mean? And when you get in from 10 through 15, you get in some dicey water, man.
Okay.
You're talking about dehydration.
Yeah.
Fatigue. Depending on how your kidneys are functioning. If you had weight loss you had to deal with going into the fight.
And if you're getting hit in them kidneys.
And you fighting an animal. You fighting a Roberto Duran. You fight
Monzon.
Yeah.
Zuma Nelson. One of these dudes is trying to punch your heart out of your chest.
Yeah.
And your VO2 max is being pushed to its
threshold.
To its threshold. And if you had that experience where you're trying to breathe and use technique at the same time, now you've gone past the threshold where you're not breathing correctly,
right.
And you're trying to use technique.
Now you
all these things start to break. All these things start to break down.
Blood sport, baby.
Man, you ain't even killed a few arguments that we had, man. It's good to have you on.
So I got a question for you. Man. So I know we're talking about skillful fighters. So who was the most skillful fighter that you've reffed, and you was like, damn, this motherfucker good?
I'm taking a guess. Go ahead. Let me see if I got it right.
If you can answer that question, answer it. If not,
Triple G.
Wow.
God damn.
Triple G. Hold on.
You gotta make faces. No, you end up making you talk about making face. You make faces. Damn, look at this motherfucker.
That was Curtis Stevens' face.
Is it because his punches?
Huh?
Was it because of the punches he was landing, or it was like this motherfucker's good?
The way he was setting him up. What was it?
All of that.
All of it.
But
hey, that's an interesting answer, man. Because you done been in the ring with,
that was my first guess.
But Bud is not shocking to me. Bud is like, you like, yeah.
Uncanny. He has that.
No, you just see the moment you meet him, you just go, yeah. I see you, bro.
Okay.
Whereas Triple G, you're just like,
you want to see what the hype about.
No. You definitely feel the presence, but the work is more like, damn.
This motherfucker got him out of here. Precise.
Damn.
So you
what you gonna do, huh?
Curtis, you rep the Curtis Stevenson versus Triple G fight, right? Then you rep.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that fight.
Oh man,
I think that was Harvey.
Okay. I thought you ref that fight.
My man Harvey.
Gotcha.
I did Triple G Lemieux, Triple G
Steve
Rolls.
He abused Lemieux. God damn.
Have you repped any Floyd fights?
No, Floyd never fought in New York.
Floyd get one referee, man. 1 or 2.
Yeah. Only in New York. So your fights on, you only rep fights in New York?
I've worked in this. I'm licensed in this few places in the South, but I primarily work out in New York.
Okay.
You got California, you got Nevada, so there is a separation.
So
why?
So for the guy, because we got a lot of people that asked me to kind of like, hey, on the show, can y'all kind of break it down for the people that that's trying to learn about boxing? Can you walk us through like a day of Steve Willis got a world championship fight against two of the top fighters? Walk us through the day leading up to you getting into the ring. How is that?
Thurman Porter.
Thurman Porter. What was that day like? And explain what.
It looked like it was exciting.
I'm laughing because I watched a video of old-time referee Carlos Padilla the other day, and I don't feel so bad about my life. You guys, people.
It was that awful.
No, no, but contrary to popular belief, like we work for a living, and I work overnights, and I'll have a title fight on a Saturday, and the most intense part of my day is I hope this dude that's supposed to relieve me shows up.
Wow.
Man, yeah, I can see that.
Wow. Because it hasn't happened yet. Nobody's been that hate-filled to do that to me yet, but you got to get off work. You want to get home, and if I can get home by a certain time, I can lay down, get a little sleep, and then you get up. And most times you got to be in the arena in the mid-afternoon. So the hardest part for me is just getting. Once I'm in the arena, I'm good.
Just get it now.
Once I'm at any venue, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff that leads to it.
Question. Now, I understand if you don't want to answer this. It may be slightly controversial. That Fury glove, that flappy glove. Now, I've been watching boxing since a little kid. I ain't never seen no glove, that little 10-ounce joint. that little 8-10 ounce joint that flappy in a fight now.
You never watched Muhammad Ali?
That's what I was just about to say. You ever watch Muhammad Ali?
I was not watching boxing back in the 70s. We're talking about the 90s up until now. That's when I tuned in. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Now I wasn't watching Larry Holmes.
But what's your issue with it?
Out of these 25 years I've been watching boxing, I ain't seen no glove flapping like that, boss.
But let me ask you this: where's the advantage?
Where's the advantage? Now, I will see an advantage in the floppy glove if it's been pulled up and you're hitting me with raw knuckle.
Where you with tape on it?
You ever seen DeAndre Wilder's head?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna punch him with bare knuckle up against that dude's head?
His face.
Over the course of how many rounds that particular fight?
Got tape.
His family come from bare knuckle fighters.
All types then he British bare knuckle. Man,
you ever see the real bare knuckle fight? You ever see a real bare knuckle fight?
Yeah.
It's one punch and done. And it's generally slapping. And it's generally slapping. Now you have to, you were a fighter.
Like that.
You were a fighter, right? Punch a heavyweight 10 times in his head. Like that.
Yeah, you don't want to hit him up there, but you hit him up here.
Okay, I carry a step further.
Anybody now.
Wouldn't it have a certain sound to it?
Hey, you making a good point.
Wouldn't everybody see that ringside?
So why when I goddamn said this shit, y'all didn't want to listen to me?
Hold on, now.
You a biased motherfucker when it comes to
I ain't biased. I keep it real with you, motherfuckers.
Unbiasedness.
I'm not biased at all. Y'all don't like because I tell that shit like it is, dog. I told you he got his ass whooped. He just got his ass whooped.
Wilder,
you know what I'm saying? But y'all want to make all the excuses. All the glove was what? Like you said, what advantages does he have by having a fucking floppy glove? You sliding your glove up ain't doing nothing. You taking your fucking power away. No, Mike Tyson used to push his fucking glove. He did this, trying to get his knuckles as close as possible to the pad in front of the
to protect himself. You want to protect your hand.
He used to say he wanted him to feel his knuckle. He didn't make his fucking hand flappy. He didn't make the glove flappy. No, you get no advantage like that.
So,
man, if you really do shit with his gloves,
about this also.
The referee,
he's a 6'9"
fight, looked at him in disgust.
Which fight?
Say
when he was about
to what now?
I don't know what
happened. Where you go?
He'll come back. He can jump back in.
He
probably went
so, okay, so let's say for instance it didn't help him. Okay, hypothetically, it didn't help him. Was that glove not?
No, it's not. They got side.
Well, let me clear this. Let me put it like this. Explain. Over the course of rounds, everything comes undone. Cup, shorts, the gloves, the tape, my bow tie, everything comes undone. Everything has to be readjusted by the time you get into the 10th round.
Willis, explain to them the glove. Like you was leading up to the fight. So, okay, we into the arena. You get ready to address the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? How is that? How does that happen? Well, how does that go?
You walk in the dressing room and you talk to Chief Second and whoever the fighter is, and you just tell them what's expected. I go over, things like I say 5 things: low blows, kidney punches, rabbit punches, use of head, and holding. If I don't see that,
none of that.
If I don't see that, I let you fight. I make it clear that if you got one hand free, you're free to fight inside. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. I don't want you to be surprised by anything that I do when we get in there. Okay, when you know, like I said, if I tell you, and I'm going to instruct you, I'm going to have you stand up or have somebody have you put one arm underneath. If the guy locks down, you got one hand free. You're free to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Protect yourself at all times.
You're right. You're free to turn, and when you talk about that, coming forward, I tell you, protect yourself coming forward, so we don't have no misunderstanding whether it's an intentional headbutt. Because a lot of times, what I learned in professional game, guys come forward, they engage. You're going to have head clashes. You're going to have different kinds of body contact. So you just let them know that protect yourself going in with that.
Gotcha.
You know, and now that we've had to add now that, you know, it was pretty routine to tell you when you get knocked down, go to the white corner. If you come out the corner, I'm going to stop the count. Or as I always say, slow time is your time. You come out the corner, I'm going to stop.
Thanks for clearing.
You know, and you just go over all those things. That way there's no oh, he just made that up. You know, you all that is covered. And you just keep it pretty simple. And on the championship level, it's like there's not much you don't have to tell them. Been there, done that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You don't insult their intelligence by going over every damn rule in the rule book. That's not necessary. Okay. You know, you say that for the preliminary guys.
Gotcha.
Those 4-rounder dudes.
Yeah, the up and comers.
Yeah. You know, but you know, you pretty much just, it's understood. That's why I know that a lot of these controversies are manufactured, because knowing who the referee is a lot of times, I know he told me before the fight.
I already know.
He told me before the fight. We're not gonna have it, you know, and you know, it's like, you know, you just see every fight that there's, you know, oh, this and this and this and this, and you're just like, well, I know the referee told him if he does that, exactly, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
He's always different.
It was a fight in New York City, man. It was Miguel Cotto. He fought Yuri Foreman, and Yuri Foreman corner threw in the towel, and your boy Arthur McCanny, you know, he loved to be seen, man. I don't know whether he wanted to be seen but he let the fight go on. He kicked the towel out the ring.
Only the ref can stop the fight.
What do you think about that right there? Only the ref can stop the fight.
I often thought that's what he wanted to
do. Just trying to be seen.
I can't speak for Arthur, but
would you kick a towel out the canvas?
Depends on the situation. On the situation. So see, the thing about throwing the towel out is like, okay, like the thing that happened in the UK, and I know Steve Gray's a friend of mine also, and I know he didn't just throw it out to be throwing it out. And what happens, what people never take into consideration, is people throw shit into the ring.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't know.
People throw shit in it, and if a towel comes into the ring and it's not from that corner,
wow,
and it comes from the side, or I know it just came from the balcony, or I just know it just came from somewhere.
Yeah,
you know,
and then you might have not have seen the second throw it in.
So let's put it this way:
seconds will do. You're absolutely correct, but you will also do certain things to let me know that was you.
Exactly. Like
you're going to be standing up,
like Diego Corrales, stepdad. He got onto the apron and was waving the towel like that.
He just turned his back.
Yeah. Once you're trained to get on the apron, they supposed to stop the fight anyway, correct?
Well, nowadays you have the inspector. They don't want you jumping up because that can lead to a disqualification. Yeah. I wouldn't DQ over something like that, but it's an emotional moment. So people,
because it was another New York fight when Trinidad got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins. His dad was coming in the ring, but his dad didn't know that the ref Steve Smoker was gonna let the fight continue. But his dad thought he was stopping the fight. His dad got in the ring.
My boy Chuck, yes sir.
And they called the fight.
Well, see, see, there's certain things that automatically shut it down for me. If somebody's walking in the ring that I know is walking in concern, I'm not gonna get into a technical bag of like, I'm like, okay, they want the fight style. This person is concerned. There's certain things that people are going to do that you're not going to go, hey, get out of the ring. The fight's not over. You look silly.
Yes.
Yeah. If people are walking in and they're like, come on, man, stop the fight.
So explain something. I know we talked about this before. Can you explain to them the glove situation? Who has the gloves before the fight? Commission, right?
And if it's a championship fight, I might have them. Depending on where we are. Depending on where we are. But the gloves are selected. They're sealed. Like in the championship fight, they're sealed. Like bonded, sealed.
Gloves, yeah.
Like bonded security, sealed. Wrapped,
sealed.
I didn't
know that.
That's why you keep talking about some flappy gloves, man.
They're sequestered. They're put in.
Gonna come out later.
They're put on the. Huh?
He said he's gonna come out later. Fury gloves. Like I'm like, man, them gloves. That's
use the same damn gloves.
He dirty, man.
He used the same gloves.
He used the last fight. He used the same gloves as Fury. He used the same gloves Fury wore.
Fury used the same gloves he used that they were talking about.
His sparring partners pointed him out. His sparring partners held him out to the public.
That's inquiry stuff. That's all that gossip crap.
Might be.
That's all that gossip crap. Yeah. He ate meat too. You got to get a farmer. All that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like they pulled out the video. They pulled out the fight. They claimed that he doctored the glove when the glove actually tore from the thumb. And you still have these special ed kids that'll sit there going, see.
Them two right here. Hey, Willis, them two right here, the special ed kids that posted this shit.
Class he was in.
They was on the short bus sending me that.
I guess we was on the short bus.
It's like, it was an effective glove, and they changed the glove in the middle of the fight. You know what I mean? Everybody's, I'm like, but why would they, do this? See when you're talking about someone, because number one, go back to the amateurs. Every referee that I know that's gone in any USA boxing tournament in the last 30 years, when you come into the ring, you check the cup, make sure he has a cup on. You tap him, you tap him. You ask him for the mouthpiece. One of the other things you do is you grab the palm of that glove and you have him open his palm.
Yeah, okay.
And you feel. You remember referees doing that to you? They tell you open your palm, and they feel in here.
Yep.
And historically, that's to make sure you ain't got like. There have been people had a roll of quarters or had a nail.
Make sure everything's
like
great.
So by the time you're getting the world title fights, that's just so automatic. You pull that glove open, and I check all this.
Have you ever came across any cheating?
No.
Okay.
Not now. When you talk about like, doing something to the gloves or doing something to hand wrap, no.
Okay.
Too many eyes, man. Too many checkpoints. They stopped that when the Panama guy when they
Margarito screwed that up for everybody.
Yeah, and
so why they didn't catch Margarito when he did that to Cotto?
They did catch him.
They did.
After the fact,
they caught that. No. Brother Nassim, rest in peace.
He talking about the Cotto. He talking about Cotto. They didn't catch it against
Nassim caught it.
Brother Nassim caught him, man.
Nassim caught it when he fought Mosley the next fight. Yep.
Brother Nassim caught him.
Yeah.
He caught him. He called it right there in the chair.
And they was about to stop the fight. I'm glad they let it go on because Mosley can't. Mosley tore his ass up.
You're supposed to have You're supposed to have your representative in there watching that.
Yeah.
The hand wraps can't. The wraps can't be put on unless you have a representative there.
So they had already put the. So they already
no
the wraps on.
No, whoever's there was supposed to be on representing Cotto didn't know what he's looking at. I shouldn't say.
JD.
He did have his uncle Evangelista. He didn't have.
I shouldn't say. I shouldn't say that, but you have a representative there watching. Yeah. And if Rob is supposed to be watching on your behalf, he's supposed to. You pay him to make a stink.
That one job.
That's true.
Okay. You know what got Michael Spinks KO'd by Mike Tyson so severely?
When he punched through what?
That uppercut?
Because Butch Lewis made Tyson a rap twice. Playing mind games.
Trying to play mind made him mad, pissed him off.
Playing mind games. So no, them raps are not. That's not. You got too much tape. Mike went punched a hole through the partition. Guess who was on the other side? This is when you said the dressing room was right next door to each other.
That's what took him so long to come out the dressing room, man. Because during that fight, he did not come out. They was like, where is it? Because he come out second because he was the lineal champion. He was the champ, and he came out second. And it took him a while to come out.
Butch played his mind game of messing with Mike and his rap, and that's a normal thing.
So
I'm glad you said
that. We got 2 more questions, man, and we got to get out of here, man. I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine sitting in that locker room and Mike Tyson fist come through there, right? And you hear that nigga, and you hear that nigga talking in the back. You hear that voice.
So I don't know if we. I don't know.
So you understand that's that, and you saying that's your opponent, man. And you said, Butch, what you say to him, man?
That's your opponent, man.
He done got Spinks fucked up because he tried to play my game.
I want you now when you go back and you watch that fight and you watch the introductions and you see that deep breath.
Eyes was like this; they were wide open.
Spinks took a deep breath during the introductions. Spinks takes this deep breath during the introduction. He goes.
Like he took one of the breaths like this nigga. God.
About to get me fucked up.
He got him on
the inside. Because I have a theory. I'm probably absolutely wrong, but I think that Mike Spinks panicked so bad that he put himself in the position to be knocked out.
Exactly. He was trying to get
him. He didn't fight.
He just panicked and just put his head down. And Mike just ate it. And he just, best thing that happened to him was that one punch.
Yep. He didn't take a lot of punishment that fight. So let's get to this. I don't know if you answered that earlier, because I know I asked some questions similar to this. But the Kari Mack truck is one of the up and coming heavyweights. He's actually fighting for the NABA heavyweight championship in Cleveland on Saturday. He's one of the guys out of our gym, man. So
is that Darren King show?
Huh?
Is that a Darren King show?
Truck, is that a Darren King show? I know he's with Steve. He's with Steve. I forgot. I know that the promoter is out.
Darren King show coming up.
Yeah, I know that the promoter is out of Cleveland. If I'm not mistaken. But he fight for his first title. So I'm excited for him. He's a hard worker, man. So he wanted to know what was the best fight that you ref. He said, "Yeah, it's the Don King show." Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he said Don King.
I don't have a favorite.
I don't have a favorite. Okay. I wanted to ask. I had that question too. What was the favorite fight you refed and why?
I don't. It's a weird thing.
But he did say the most skilled fighters he saw and was like, damn, was Triple G and Bud Crawford. Those were the 2 fighters he saw and was like, damn.
Put some respect on Bud Crawford's name.
Now, I've seen some other skilled fighters. I just can't think of names right now, but like prominent names where you just said like I said, they made a vast impact.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys. I thought Big Baby was.
Which Big Baby? Is it Slaughter's favorite fighter, Big Baby?
About New York.
Why you keep saying that's my favorite fighter? I don't like Big Baby.
Big Baby you talking about?
It's another Big Baby, Jarrell Miller. He coming along.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Bud is trash.
The new one. Okay.
Jarrell
Baby Miller.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going places, man.
He's on the way, man. They say he knocked out Fury in sparring leading up to the Wilder fight.
Well, like when you see heavyweights and you just like, I'm like, there's just some, I'm like, man, look at this dude's big. Jeez. Yeah. And I've refereed him a couple of times. You just go like, it reminded me like George Foreman. We just go like, it don't look like he hitting him, like he's swinging fast, but
yeah, Bud ain't trash.
Jesus. It's like you just know it hurts.
Dang.
You just know it hurts.
But y'all got
what you got? What else you got?
Man? Y'all got any more questions?
Did we accomplish your goal tonight?
Oh yeah, man. Hey man, you fam, man. We chop it up every day, man.
So now I gotta ask, what happened when you in Miami U, man?
You say what?
What happened when you in Miami U, man?
Man, I'm still man. I'm still gonna rep my squad. I'm still gonna rep my squad.
Did you hit a brick wall when you jumped off the wagon, man?
I ain't jumped off the wagon.
You jumped off that wagon. That thing was in full speed. You jumped off game 2.
Man,
let's see. He ain't jump off.
Let's see how you He ain't jump off.
I don't jump off. I'm gonna ride with my squad till the wheels fall off. It's all about the train. Baby. It's always
gonna be the train ain't gonna go nowhere, bro.
No. We gotta admit they were sad, man. You did when homeboy missed the tackle and took the block.
Hey man, you gotta leave Gervin Hall alone, man. But
man, that was terrible, bro.
Man,
that was terrible.
Hey, man.
You let the tackle go by, and you took the block.
You gotta leave my dog alone, man. Leave Gervin Hall alone.
I'm a Miami guy, man. That's my team. But I'm like.
Hey, he had us all hyped going into the season, man. We was going for you. Hey, Alabama. Oh Lord.
But the next thing I know, Florida State. I was like, damn. Man,
you a lie. I ain't ever said no shit about no Florida State. No bitches. Fuck Florida State.
That might have hurt it worse than the Alabama than Florida State.
Man,
that's all right, man. I can't talk, man. I got the New York Jets over here, man.
Exactly. Y'all super trash. Yeah. Man, but
the Giants.
Like I said,
and
man,
the Knicks.
Man, I really appreciate you, taking time out, what I'm saying, chopping it up with us, man. Like I've been telling us that, man, my boy Willis cool, man. Like I said, we chop it up every day. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you gotta come back.
When you got any schedule fights coming up?
No, I don't know. I don't know when I'm working yet. It's with this pandemic thing. It's been
crazy. God.
It's been killing us. You can't go nowhere, and
especially
but y'all real strict up there in New York. So yeah.
And I haven't had no opportunities to go to Europe or Japan, anything, because they, quite frankly, they ain't dealing with Americans, like, with our foolishness. They want you quarantined 14 days and
before you get there.
It's just you're gonna lose out some opportunities, man.
But I'm telling you, I'm gonna come out to check out a fight with you, man. You already know I gotta be ringside. Check out my boy. I'm gonna come check you out, support.
Y'all have your camera.
Well, I hopefully I get another things getting invited to work in the South again, because like for a period I had a license in Arkansas, I had a license in Tennessee. I was working in Texas. I worked in Atlanta.
Come to Georgia, baby.
Come to Atlanta, baby.
I worked in Atlanta. I worked in Atlanta a few years ago. When the Holyfield had his promotion.
Got you. Okay. I remember that.
Louisville. I worked in Louisville. Yeah, man, Atlanta, man. I needed an excuse to go to Waffle House, man. So
Come to the A, man.
You know,
he said Waffle House.
Tell him, man.
Yeah, but the only thing is, you know, the one down on Peach Street, 3 o'clock in the morning, man, it'd be a little different.
Yeah, it is a little different.
Talking about Waffle House, man.
That one down on Peach Street, man, be a little different.
Was off the chain back in the day.
Huh?
Thank God didn't cover Metropolitan was crazy back in the day here.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely coming to the Barclays, man, because I already know you're finna get one of these big fights. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in there. You feel me?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, we'll let you know, like I said, I never know until it's, you know, little time before. But yeah, we'll check us out, you know. But this has been good.
Oh yeah, good. Man. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed
nice meeting you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Gentlemen.
You too, man.
Stop drinking
man,
drinking that wild juice, man.
It's gone.
Moonshine glass.
It's gone.
Got you. Had you.
It's gone.
Man, but hey, man, we appreciate everybody that checked us out tonight, man.
Yes,
appreciate my boy Willis, my boy Steve Willis, the best referee out there. You know what I'm saying? Today, you feel what I'm saying? I'm giving you flowers right now. Everybody talk about you. You're the guy. Embrace it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
You my dog, man. I'll rock with you forever, man. I appreciate you for taking time.
Man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
To rock with us, man. That's
all right.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. We out this thing. 10 count, baby. We out, baby. Yes, sir.
Peace.